It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. But if you're isolating yourself and that is your only pathway to you, and the only thing coming down that pathway to you, you perceive as fuck another crazy one, understand why that might be happening. All right, so this talk has pretty much ended. My one of the processes I'm trying to utilize or integrate into my work is that at the end of the talk, I will, it says in my notes, begin play. And that's exactly what was on the last talk I gave. Begin play. And for this one, I wanted to illustrate some of the goals. Why is it important to me that I utilize AI for this work? And how has that changed how the work will look going forward? I realize that I'm moving slow. There were some pretty big things to overcome here to achieve this first goal. And for most of you, probably it wouldn't even mean anything. Like the thing I'm trying to overcome is like so simple for most of you. But that process was important for me to go through. The understanding of getting rid of that instant gratification of dopamine hits from gambling and gaming, stuff like that, that if I were to be successful, it is important to have under control. That process is crucial. So it may be taking me a little while. And you may still be looking at my kitchen, but let me show you a little bit of plus it's also important to note, especially since I work so much on consciousness as a topic. My meditations have changed. The structure of my outlines has changed because I am envisioning doing these talks and these projects utilizing AI. And I'm about to give you some examples, and I want you to understand how mind works first. I tell you the definition of consciousness, it's a process leading to mind. When most people think about what they would like to achieve, they attach a certain personal ownership to their ideals, to their ideas. The way mind works is you go through the organic process. You either are driven or you're fueled, and it leads to your mind, and there's something in your mind. But all of those things that drove or fueled you are also in multiple minds at the same time, because multiple people are exposed to the same things that are driving or fueling you. So if I come to an understanding, the odds are very good that that understanding is in many, many minds, because many other minds have been exposed to the same fuel or the same drives that I have been. And I want you to understand one of the memes that I would like you to get rid of. There's this meme that's like, never tell anybody how you're gonna move, right? It's got that sort of flavor of, well, if you tell them how you're going to move, they're going to undercut you and take your advantage away because you've given it to them. And I understand that. But that meme, and I want you to understand, look, I call it a meme. What I've just described to you, I call a meme. Look at the memetic nature of advice, because that's really what that meme is. Don't tell anybody how you move, because the fear is they'll take and subvert you, right? That is advice that is replicated in culture. That is memetic. When I tell you it's an organic process, memetically driven or fueled, that is an example of how you are memetically driven or fueled, just by that little, don't tell anybody how you're going to move. The memetic nature of advice. All right, so first, one of my first goals, I've got one of the people I really love their contribution to consciousness is Neil deGrasse Tyson.